Okay, so hello. Today we're going to talk about the different bases that you can place a roller on. This will go for anything that you're doing regarding rollers, perm rods, your curling iron, anything like that. So what I've done is I've created 6 panels. When you're doing a roller set, thermal iron set, perm wrap, as you're going to customize that as far as your sectioning goes, but I've just done a basic 6 sections. And I'm going to start right here, right at the top, right at the apex, just so you can get a good visual of this. So the first thing that I'd like to mention is whenever you take a section, you're going to want to take it about the same size as your roller or your rod. So if I have a rod or a roller that's about this size, if you place it on the head, then you can take your comb and section off that piece of hair, and that's going to give you a section that's about the same size as your roller. Okay, if you go too big, what's going to happen is your rollers aren't going to sit properly on the base. You're going to end up with curl on the ends, and there's going to be too much room left at the base. The other thing is if they're too small, they're going to start bunching on you. So if ever you're doing like a roller set, perm wrap, and you're finding that your rollers are bunching up on you, they're popping up, then your sections are just a little bit too small. So you just have to go back and make them a bit bigger. If you're right-handed, you should always keep your tools to the right of you. Left-handed, you should keep them to the left of you. This is going to help you move faster, more efficiently, and it's also going to help with any strain that you're putting on your body. So if ever you're feeling like you're reaching in the wrong direction and then you end up with pain in your body, that's what's happening. So let's talk about the different bases that we can create. So when we're talking about base placement, it's where is your roller or your rod going to sit in relation to its base. So on base, let's start there. So I'm going to wrap a roller on its base. To wrap a roller on its base, this here is straight up from where it grows. So right here it's at 90 degrees. If I want to go on base, then I'm going to over direct. So I'm going to go 45 degrees beyond. Some people have a hard time remembering like the beyond or perpendicular and all those terms. If you find it easier, you can just say I'm going to push it up. Okay, so I'm going to go 45 degrees beyond, or I'm going to push it up away from the head. So now you can see that my angle is about 45 degrees in relation to its base. You want to make sure you have really good tension on the hair. And when you put your roller on, you don't want to bunch all the hair in the center. You want to make sure that it's evenly distributed over the roller. You also want to make sure that the hair is nice and wet. If it's not wet enough, magnetic rollers, that's how they work. The hair needs to be wet. Okay, so we're going to roll it down. So there's 1 turn, 2 turns, and almost 3 turns. So as you can see right now, here's my base, and my roller is sitting up nice and high right on its base. When you anchor your rollers, you're going to want to put your clips into the base. So you don't want to clip them up here. You want to anchor them right here, right in the base. Okay? So if I turn her, you can actually see the bottom part of the base. So that's telling me that this is sitting up on its base. Okay? So now I'm going to show you the difference if we're going to go below. So now we're going to do one that's off base. So again, it's all in relation, it's all in relation to that 90 degrees. Okay, so if I'm pulling this straight out from where it grows, which is going to be about there, that's going to be 90 degrees. If I was to push it up this way, now I'm at Now I'm going to be bringing it, so 90 is here, so now I'm going to bring it 45 and I would wrap it on its base. But in this instance, I want to take it off the base. So this is 90. I'm going to pull it down here. Nice and tight, lots of tension. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to slide your clips right into base. Now, if you look at the difference on this one, you can't even hardly see the base. You can see it if I turn it and you can see that it's sitting up on the base. This one, the full base is exposed. So if something is sitting off base, then the complete base should be exposed. So on this one, you're going to get tons of volume because it's going to start coming up and around right from the scalp, where this one is actually going to get directed down. So some of those older styles where they had kind of flatter on the top and then the curls on the bottom, this would have been the type of setting that they would have used. So they would have directed everything down and off of its base. So then the third one is 90 degrees, and this one is half on and half off of its base. So this one I'll do right in here. Okay, so I'm going in at, when you do something off base, you kind of have to keep them all off base, otherwise it's going to be difficult for me to get this one in. So I'm actually going to do my 90 degrees up here. So you'll see if you start to go off base and you're going to say, oh my gosh, my rollers aren't fitting, that's why. I can't take one down here because this is covering up my base. But if I was going to continue going off base, I would be fine. So then my 90 degrees, I'm going to take that one right here. Okay, so for 90 degrees, this is 90. This would have been 45 beyond or up. This one is 45 below or down. So if I'm going to go with a half on, half off base, I'm going to pull it straight up at 90. So I'm going to bring this straight up at 90. Make sure the hair is nice and wet so it sticks for you. And now see, this one's going to kind of bump this because this is sitting up so high. So this one, is half on and half off. So you can see on that side view there that the roller is coming partly off of its base and it's partly on its base. Where this one, which I've just knocked off, is sitting up nice and high on its base. So the other thing is are we going to get a wave or are we going to get a curl? So generally, the larger the roller, or the larger the rod, you're going to get more volume and less curl. When you want to get curl, you're going to use a smaller roller, because you want to get it around the roller at least 2.5 times to get a curl. For a wave, it's 1.5. So if someone's just looking for a little bit of movement, 1.5 is good. But if they're looking for curl, you need at least 2.5 rotations of the roller. And then if somebody just wants kind of like that fullness, just that, sometimes those bobs really like just to have one kind of round shape, you only need the roller to go around one time, and that's going to give you that C shape. But these would be the two that you probably use the most if you were going to do a set. Carry it over into your perming. carry it over into your thermal iron. There's lots of different ways that you can use these techniques. So I wish you all the best. Stay well.